Howdy, you're listening to Nobles in the Pinhead.
Yeah, baby. And we are back. Yo, 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 what up? What up? What's happening? Welcome back, hustlers, players, and grinders. I know I said that out of order, Pinhead, but it doesn't matter because we are back in the Pinhead studios. That's right, your favorite two knuckleheads are here, and we are
serving it up hot.
And I miss my homegirl, Tyler, from the tavern, man.
Yeah, I miss everybody from the tavern.
Almighty, man. I just wanted to go get a beer so bad today, Pinhead. Not from the store, but from the bar.
Yeah.
And it couldn't happen.
Nope.
No. And it's not that I need any. I've got plenty.
Yeah.
There's just something about,
I think we're all getting a little stir crazy, you know?
Yeah, man. It's the things that you can't do that makes you want to do what you miss, the most, and it's going to the tavern, hanging out with the good folks there. And
it's by far the longest I've been in years without throwing a dart.
Oh, man, I hadn't thought about that.
We don't have one at the house. It's in years, probably 20 years since I've been anywhere close to this long. This is probably 3 times longer than any break I've ever had.
Wow.
Just because even though I didn't play in leagues, I consistently just threw, a few times a week at least. But
just go out there, throw a few, share it off.
And I'll probably hit the bricks when we get back to it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. Your favorite two assholes are here. Reggie Nobles and the Pinhead. If you don't know, boy, you better ask somebody. I'm your host, Reggie Nobles, the pride of the Tar Heel State.
A.K.A. the proud owner of the Forsyth County 44s.
The 44s, baby. We'll talk about the 44s in a minute. And with me, as always, per usual, is my man, the guy who needs no introduction. When you see him on the street, throw some money to his pocket, not his cash app, because he doesn't do that. My friend, my man, my dude, the Pinhead, and I don't have an AKA.
That's all right, man. You gave me plenty there.
Yeah, man. Nah, dude. So let's talk about the offer, man. I'm super excited.
Yeah, man. I told Cameron, he didn't know that you were getting the team. I was like, hey, man, we got a new team. It's the Forsyth County 44s. And he just cackled, man. He thought it was funny. He was like, whose team is that? And I was like, Reggie, man. He's like, oh, man. He was really happy. He was like, Reggie's going to breathe some new life in. And, yeah, everybody that I've talked to is pretty excited about having you, man.
Well, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. Can't wait to see what the draft board looks like, man. Come up with my strategy. Got a young team. Kind of went against what I thought I would be keeping. Mm-hmm. End up keeping Hunter Henry. Yeah, whatever.
Well, Hunter Henry has been a top 3 tight end, top 4, 5 at worst when healthy. He's been a banger.
Beast,
yeah,
right. So I figured,
but you got a little issue. With just him being healthy,
Well, right. If
that's
I can keep him on the field, and with Tyrod Taylor at the helm, a check down tight end of his caliber is a fantasy dream, right?
Yeah, he should be good to go, man. If you can keep him on the field, he's a solid start every week.
And then I took your advice and I kept the quarterback, which I didn't want to, but the fact that we have to roster 2, I figure, or 3 rather, I figure I got 2 good ones. And if I gotta sit a bye week out and play Phillip Rivers in Indianapolis,
no big deal.
I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah, I kept 2 quarterbacks too, man. We'll probably be the only guys in the league, but that's all good, man. It's we don't have to address that.
Well, no, and then looking into this draft, my strategy obviously is going to be going where I'm weak is going to be the running back position.
Mm-hmm. You have to address that early. Where our guys, having kept 2 quarterbacks, where we're going to make up and find our best values, or are going to be around the end of the 3rd round through the end of the 5th, because that's when the people are going to make runs on quarterbacks, and we're good. We're good on that, right? That's when you'd be plucking these cats that blip, blip, blip. The years I have one other year kept 2 quarterbacks, and that year I had a really good draft because of that. Because like in the middle rounds, those 3rd, 4th, and 5th rounds, everybody was drafting quarterbacks. So it's like, well, I don't need that. So it's just like maybe 3 guys that were on my list taken, and then it's my pick again. Like, all right.
Right. Well, man, I'm super excited, man. I really am, man. You guys have established yourself as one of the oldest leagues that I know in Kernersville. I mean, you guys date back to the days of the USA Today.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't have football on Thursday.
No, we're in our third decade. We started in '99.
That's awesome.
So yeah,
Right.
pretty cool.
That's awesome, man. So, you know, there is one question, and maybe I've asked you this before in the past. So there's 12 teams, and every team has to roster 3 quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
So there's only 32 teams. So that means 4 teams are rostering backups.
Yeah, I always do. My third quarterback will be either Deshaun Watson or Kyler Murray's backup.
Okay.
And to just whichever one I think is going to have the most prolific offense, it'll probably be Murray's backup.
Sure.
And that way I don't lose the spot if there's an injury. I've still got a starter, you know. And then that's another thing, man, that where having kept 2 quarterbacks, you could make that guy your last pick.
Right.
So
it's going to be my last pick.
Right.
Well,
so
that's what I was actually going to hint at. Like, why do you have to have that third quarterback?
It's just always been that way. I don't know. Nobody's ever brought it up to change it.
Because that puts 4 teams. If 12 teams all draft all starters, that means 4 slots are going to go to backups.
Right. Well, a lot of those backups though are going to get drafted anyway because they're going to be rookies.
Well, I'm just saying though. You know what I mean? It was kind of different for me. I mean, ain't no slight. I mean, you know, how many roster slots do we have total?
I'm not even sure anymore, man. It changes.
We have 16. We start 8. We reserve 8, and then we can keep 1 on IR, but it has to be true IR.
Right, it has to be on the league IR.
Right.
That's how ours is too, man. I can't remember how many we got. 3 quarterbacks, 4 running backs, 4 receivers, 2 tight ends, 2 kickers, 2 defenses, and then you got 2 spots that can be anything.
15, 17?
Something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you got 17, then that doesn't really bug me, right? Because, I mean, I can do fine with 16, and I will have a backup quarterback. So if one of those slots goes to another quarterback, and I've got an extra slot, I have no complaint. I don't have a complaint anyway.
Right, I get it. We just found that the bigger roster fosters more trades than free agent pickups, which is a little more fun. You know,
okay.
Because there's nobody out there much. You know, you got to contact somebody.
No, that's
relationships.
definitely a good way to look at it, man. How is the trade market in the awful?
It is what you make it, man. There's several guys that stand pat, and there's a few guys that will make a trade nearly every week. You know, it just depends. And you got to kind of get to know certain guys value draft picks more than other guys do. You know, I'm one of the guys that doesn't value them very much. So that's good for me. I make about as many trades as anybody. And a lot of it comes down to injuries and stuff too. You know, like we got a lot of guys
you can't count for, right?
Right. We got a lot of guys like Jason Kelly who won the thing, split it, co-champion this year, and he just doesn't make many moves because he doesn't get any injuries. He doesn't have to. Yeah. You know, and his team's super good. So why would he trade? I don't want to trade with your sorry team and make your sorry team mine. Yeah,
well, I mean, you know, we hinted on it all last season. We always jokingly say, you know, the best ability is availability, and if you have the opportunity to stay healthy, man, you're winning instantly.
Right.
You know?
Right. And he's running out Christian McCaffrey and Alvin Kamara at running back.
Yeah.
So I mean, who's he going to trade with?
Right. I mean, the cat that won our league this year, we keep 3. I know AJ Green and Tyreek Hill were 2 of his keepers, and between those 2 guys, he didn't see one of them play until week 9.
Right.
You know, and then his third keeper, I'm not sure who it was. It was a bum. It really was, and there's no disrespect to the Warriors. I mean, they're the champion. You know, but that third keeper was a bum. His keepers they were irrelevant.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can make a first round pick and it be bad, and a second round pick and it be bad, and then you can accidentally draft. You know, I don't know, what's the kid from Devin Singletary?
Right.
You know, who makes up for it in the 8th round.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. There,
yeah, there's different ways to build your team. You know, most of my success, I've been lucky to be good most seasons, so I have a low draft pick, and a whole lot of my success has been just packaging, just throwing the farm at somebody. It's a trade that they can't refuse. They shouldn't refuse. It instantly makes their team much better. But I get the guy I want, and then I might have a down year that year, but now I got Adrian Peterson, or now I got Calvin Johnson, now I got whoever. So, but yeah, like last year, I didn't have a whole lot of trade offers come my way, and the ones I did were for my wide receivers, who are Mike Thomas and DeAndre Hopkins, and it's like, why would I do it? And they're offering me receivers, in picks. And it's like, man, I've got 1 and 2. Anything else is going to back me up. My starting lineup every week will be weaker if I don't have those 2 guys. I mean, that's what strikes fear into people about my team, is that I got those 2 guys.
Sure.
And that's it. I mean, nothing else.
Mike Thomas ain't going to do nothing but catch 10 balls.
Right, every game.
And then,
right.
Who knows what Nuke's going to do. I mean, he might have 4 catches and 130 yards.
I think he's going to be super double motivated. He's going to be motivated,
I
bud.
think that offense opens it up for him. I think we're going to see the kid that we saw early in his career. Mm-hmm. And especially with all of the hoopla that, sent him out of town, I think it's going to be a very special year for Arizona in general.
I do too, man. It really that trade made me so happy, because it motivated Nuke, and I've got David Johnson too, and it put him in a spot where I think they're going to have to at least give him a good look, or else look like total fools.
Well, I mean, they have to. Right. They absolutely have to. They should have shopped him around. God almighty.
No, I know, man.
They got a ham sandwich for that dude.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy, man. I don't
literally
understand
got nothing for him.
I don't understand.
There was nothing in the first 5 rounds, plus anything that Texans had outside of Watson, which Arizona didn't need, that would equate for a equal trade, right?
Right.
Like, I didn't understand how that came about, but hey, hats off to Arizona's front office.
Yeah, man.
Because they freaking won.
Yeah, that was a slick move, man.
They freaking won. They got a young back that's going to look great next year. Mm-hmm. If, knock on wood, we do see some football played. Young quarterback who could make the throws, who's exciting, who can run, who can, and dude, their receiving core is great. Their tight ends are great. They've got a really decent offensive line. Mm-hmm. Defense isn't bad. That's a good ball club, man.
Yeah,
watch out for the Cardinals.
Yeah, that's a tough division. You got Seattle and L.A.
49ers.
Yeah, and the Niners Super Bowl team. It's a tough division, but they're certainly on the way up. I was really happy with Murray's rookie year.
You should have.
I thought he just looked fantastic. Learning that that's a tough system at Kingsbury. He hands you a book that's big as like War and Peace. Learn this. And like, okay.
Okay, so basically, what I'm not doing for the rest of this week is anything else.
Anything else, right? Exactly, man. But there's some intriguing teams going into this year, man. I think the Broncos made some good moves.
Yeah, I like it.
Bring in Melvin Gordon. Mm-hmm. That's a pretty solid play, I think.
Yeah, Denver's been a good place for running backs historically.
Yeah, it really has.
And he's got the talent. You've seen what they did with Royce and Lindsey, and then they bring in a talent like Gordon, who I think will actually give Lindsey opportunity to be still a 800 to 900 yard back. Maybe a couple hundred. I would say he would be good for about 1,100 total yards this year. Pretty decent RB2, RB3 if you play a flex, Definitely some fantasy value there. I think Melvin Gordon really opens that offense up.
I do too, man. I think they could be pretty good. Drew Lock didn't look bad at the end of last year.
No, he didn't.
He was just getting his feet wet too.
He did.
And he looked pretty good. There's a lot of teams that are just total mysteries, kind of, or who knows what they're going to be. Could be pretty good, maybe not. Who knows? I think about the Giants.
Oh man, speaking on the
Giants could be pretty good.
Yeah,
Can
they get their head up their ass long enough to do so?
I don't know.
You were just telling me a story. I don't know if you guys heard this, but I'll defer to Pinhead here before we came on the air. he was telling me about two knuckleheads from New York who got themselves into a sticky predicament here in these uncertain times.
Yeah, man. It was Quentin Dunbar and DeAndre Baker. It's crazy. Baker plays for the Giants, and Dunbar is a Seahawk. And they had basically there's been a warrant out for their arrest of 4 counts of armed robbery with a firearm and 4 counts of aggravated assault with a firearm. So that's not good. It says that there was a party that took place, started on Wednesday evening, and then early Thursday morning, Baker and Dunbar are accused of stealing money and watches with force while armed with semi-automatic weapons. The report states that Baker intentionally threatened the victims with a firearm. Baker was a first-round pick of the Giants in just 2019, and the Seahawks just got Dunbar in a trade from the Redskins. So the Redskins have looked pretty slick this offseason too.
Dude, they've made some great moves, man. I mean, Thaddeus Moss.
Yeah,
they stole him, and I mean that's a guy who's going to be an undrafted rookie who will probably make the roster, and they don't have to pay him anything.
Right, and they got rid of a guy. They got rid of a guy who commits felonies.
Yeah,
which is smart.
Right. See you, bye.
Yeah, no need for you, man. So we'll see how that goes. I saw some reports, speaking of the Redskins, about how good Adrian Peterson looks. Have you seen any of that? They say he's just a manimal.
Well, first off, I have to say the dude has never not looked good.
Nah, not for 1 second.
Nah, I mean,
freshman year at Oklahoma.
No homo. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but the dude looks freaking like. I mean, he's like that T.O. type body.
It's that,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's that guy that jumps out at you, Calvin Johnson.
Right.
When you see that, you're like, good God Almighty. Yeah,
wow.
I hope he has a big year.
I root for him.
My favorite player of all time, man. I love him. It was so weird when he got traded, to the Saints and the Cardinals, and they put him in these offenses where the quarterback is in shotgun and he's standing right beside him. And they hand him the ball, and he gets tackled. And it's like, man, the great thing about Peterson, the thing that made him who he is the speed he was at when he got the ball. You need him 5-6 yards behind the quarterback.
Give him that.
Because that's his great gift, is that he hits the line hard.
Once he hits it,
and it's over.
He's
almost
at speed.
Right, he's almost at full speed.
Right.
And you put him right beside the quarterback where he has to stand and wait, get the ball, and then crank up. No, man, that was bad, But at least Washington used him correctly.
Yeah.
They put him back deep and just hammer away,
Yeah. And that just goes to show you, man, how coaching can influence someone's career.
But we're talking about a guy who is certainly one of the NFL's premier players. Like, haven't you watched him like the rest of us have? I mean, you're a football guy.
Right.
You don't know what he does.
Right. You study film.
You traded for him.
Right.
You traded for him.
This is what you do.
Look how great this guy is at this. Let's trade for him and make him do other things.
Yeah. Well, that brings me to a point, man, when we talk about scouting and professional sports, basketball has done NBA has just done such a horrible job. And that is what kind of instituted the one and done rule, because the scouts were so bad at their jobs.
Right.
That owners were losing on Kwame Brown type guys that, we can't just take that risk. Well, no, fire your scout.
Right.
And find some guys who can damn scout.
Right.
I mean, in today's basketball, high school basketball, you've got AAU, you've got the Gatorade games, you've got all of these leagues going on with these young talents. Like, they play and they play and they play and they play and they play. You should be able to dissect enough from that player and be like, yeah, I think he'd be good enough at the next level. Maybe not a lottery pick.
Right.
So we don't want to shoot for him number one, Kwame Brown. But if he's hanging around like the end of the second,
right,
let's take a flyer on the
Sure, yeah, but you don't want to waste your high picks on something like that, Yeah, it's crazy, man. Like, I've always thought that the scouting, like if you draft a kicker in football and he's no good, what the hell is going on? I mean, when you watched him, did he make his kicks or did he not make his kicks? I mean, you know,
it doesn't get any simpler.
People just miss on it. It'll be interesting to see this kid that the Patriots took, the unwitting racist. Do you know about the kicker? Yeah, they took a kicker in the 5th round. He was the first kicker taken, and he had this picture made of him with his forearms out in front of him, flexing, and he has a tattoo on his arm that's of this super right-wing militant racist group. And he didn't know that. He didn't know it was their symbol. It's actually, the symbol is like a black and white and tattered American flag. And he was saying that he had a bunch of members of his family were in the service. And so this was his salute to them. And he didn't realize, it was only until after the draft when that picture surfaced and people said, look, he's got this tattoo. And so he's vowed to have it removed. He said a cover-up wouldn't be good enough. He said he's not a racist. But he said that in the future he will have to do more research on things that he puts on his body.
So I agree. He might not be a racist.
Maybe, right.
However, he's definitely a fucking idiot.
Yes.
Who
yeah,
marks their body
with something you ain't sure what it is.
Right. That's like when you go into a tattoo parlor and you're looking at Chinese characters.
Right.
And you're like, that one says joy. Right. And you just take that sign's word for it. You don't Google it. You know, you can take a snapshot of a picture and throw it into the Google it bar and like search it, right? There's no reason for you to walk around with like, cot smoker on your arm,
right?
And you're thinking it's joy. There's no reason for that.
No, there's not, man.
Unless your mom smoked crack when she had you,
right? Then you just couldn't help it.
Crack baby.
He's
a crack baby.
This guy, he really backpedaled and he said all the right things, but I mean, there's no way out of that. You're gonna. The best case scenario is that you look like a dumbass.
Well,
yeah. The worst case is that people think you're a member of this hate group.
Right.
They were. I don't know exactly what this group believes or whatever. I just know that they were on like a domestic terrorist list and several things like that. Not a very inclusive group, I don't believe.
Right. Well, it's about as bad as Manti Te'o getting catfish.
Oh man.
I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, I'm the superstar of nothing. However, if I was a linebacker for, I don't know, one of the greatest college programs of all time, everybody knew my name, the last thing I'm going to be doing is talking to a chick online. Now, I might be lining chicks up in my dorm room, but talking to one online, like in a... Oh, huh?
That doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
It never did. It ended up being a boy, didn't it?
Yeah.
Sadly.
Bless his little heart.
Yeah,
he ain't been the same player since then because, you have to understand the ridicule that he has taken. I mean, listen, if you're in my locker room and we're teammates and we're in the trenches together, I'm going to crack that joke.
Oh yeah.
It probably were the wrong time for you.
Well,
but it'd be the right time for me. We're out for dinner. We're at a seafood shack, and I'm gonna have the catfish.
Right.
Put it on Manti Te'o's tab. Come on.
How could you not? Yeah, that was an odd story, wasn't it?
It really was, man. We've had some odd things going on in life, man. How you been, though, brother, man? I ain't seen you in a couple weeks, man.
Yeah, man, I'm doing fine. We've been still playing cards. Had a big night the other night.
Did you?
We did. We both bought in for 100 and walked for somewhere around 12. So that's big for blackjack. The way we go about it, we try to do it like we would. Kind of mimicking how we would do it if we were playing for real in Vegas, so we don't just go crazy and, try to break the bank. You just, every time, we figure for every 15 minutes that we sit there, we probably get a drink. So that we try to factor that in too, man.
I like it.
That's been
I like
fun.
your strategy. It's keeping it real.
Yeah, right. And I tell her, okay, so we're both buying in for 100. If we triple it, if we're ever combined at 900, then we're going to keep playing as long as we're winning, but that 900 is walking out the door with us. That's the floor, right? And so when we get to that point where we either win and the table turns, start to lose back to that 9 and we quit, or we lose all our money, we go walking around Fremont Street because we're gambling at the El Cortez in our mind.
Sure.
And so we type in Fremont Street Experience on YouTube and hit play, and it's people literally walking.
love it.
There's one where it starts from leaving the El Cortez and walking all the way down. So we watch that, and then we're like, okay, well now we can sit back down, and our dog Floyd, he's become a resident at the El Cortez.
Sure.
There's this cool story about this guy back in the gangster days when Bugsy Siegel owned the El Cortez. There was a guy.
Wait. Stop. Sorry to interrupt. He owned the El Cortez. I thought he owned the restaurant. He owned the whole.
Yes, he built the whole thing.
Okay, so I thought it was just the restaurant.
No,
did not know that.
No, Bugsy owned the whole thing, the whole casino, the whole hotel, and it was such a success that he built the Flamingo, which was at the time it opened was the grandest hotel in the world. It was just unbelievable. He hemorrhaged money, but there was another guy named Fat Irish, and Fat Irish wasn't. He wasn't real. He wasn't a big mobster. He was more of a muscle guy.
Gotcha.
But he was loyal to Siegel, and Siegel gave him a satchel full of cash and told him to hold on to that for him. Well, as Siegel was building the Flamingo, he overran the budget by a bunch and was warned by the other mobsters. You need to cut this. He did not cut it, so he's killed. Obviously he's dead. So here's Fat Irish with this sack of money. And, but he doesn't know who knows about it or what. Mm-hmm. So he, with all the guts in the world, walks down to Binion's and walks in the back room, and there's Benny Binion and all the other big wigs, gangsters in Vegas, and he says, "Fellas, I have something that belongs to you, but he said I'd just like a couple things first." And he plopped that bag. He told him he plopped the bag down. Mob got their money and hooked him up. He could live forever at the El Cortez for nothing, and he could eat at Binion's for nothing. And at one point, the El Cortez got sold, and the new owner was going through the logs, and he's like, wait, this guy in room whatever has been living here for 15 years and has never paid anything. So he's going to go kick him out, and Fat Irish calls some of his buddies, and they call up the owner and tell him, "No, he's package deal, man. You gotta do it." So they told him the deal. He eats at Binion's for free, and he lives here for free. So he called up Benny Binion and was like, "How about you just take him on?" He's like, "Nope, that's the deal. He stays with you." And so he lived there his whole life, and he would walk from the El Cortez to Binion's.
What a
2 times a day.
Gangster move!
Oh, it's sick.
I mean, like that's the only way you can live in Vegas is if you are guaranteed a place to sleep and eat.
Yeah. Right.
Like you don't have to do anything else.
No.
Dude, you find $100, you gamble $100.
Right.
If that $100 turns to nothing, whatever. I got a place to sleep, got something to eat.
Right. So that story, I told that to Rachel the other night, and then it got us to thinking, because we're in our minds, we're playing at the El Cortez every night, and taking trips down Fremont Street. And so our dog Floyd is here, and he's kind of become fat pink now because he's mostly pink. This dog, he's white, but you can see through him. He is like a little pig. And he stays at the El Cortez, so he's like he's our Fat Irish, and all of the wait staff just loves him. All the maids and everything. So, Mr. Flibbins, that's what they call him. Mr. Flibbins, so happy to see you. And he hangs out. He mostly hangs out in the penthouse or the lounge, which is 2 different ends of the couch.
I need to get Floyd's number before I leave.
Yeah, he's fun, man.
I got to get his number before I leave.
He's a trip, dude.
You know what I mean? You think
he can be dead asleep. He is never more than 5 seconds away from party. I mean, getting down, bouncing around, and doing the whole thing, man. But then he'll go back to sleep, But he's down to party anytime.
Hey, listen, man, you got to reserve your energy and use it at the right moments. I respect this gangster, man. That's dope. So look, in you guys' tours down Fremont, have y'all hit the zip line?
Yeah, you can see. Yeah,
y'all hit the zip line.
We did.
Times?
Yeah, because there's videos of that too.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, we've had the whole Fremont experience, man. The sad thing is that she really wants to go, and I'm thinking I don't know how long it'll be before I feel comfortable going there.
I'm going immediately.
Yeah. Hey, good. Well,
dude, listen.
Well, good. I need that because I need some other people to go first successfully.
I am not afraid of Corona. I'm more afraid of just I was about to say something. I don't want to dive down that road. I'm more afraid of the people that I interact with on a day-to-day basis. I have had 2 old white men cuss me out in the last 2 weeks. One happened this morning.
Oh no!
Literally.
I know about the other was when you had parked erroneously.
Right.
Unbeknownst to you.
Yeah, right. And that fella stopped by. I kid you not. He stopped by the other day. I was doing some painting around the outside of the house, and he stopped by. He said, "Hey, buddy." Buddy, we're buddies now. You cuss me out. You told me you F me up and take my sorry and shove it up the ass, but we're buddies now. He goes, man, what are you going to do with that oil tank? I said, I done gave it to somebody. I ain't gave it to nobody.
Right.
I'm not giving it to you.
Right.
Not my buddy. Not my friend. You know? But now you want something from me, you son of a bitch. But no, so this morning, I'm helping one of my neighbors. She's a sweet girl, man. She's a single mother. Recently divorced, her and her daughter, Donica. Not Danica, Donica.
Got it.
Anyway, they love my little puppy, Cammy, right? They absolutely adore her. So I'm taking the pup out for a walk this morning, as I do before I start my day. And we had looked at a house yesterday evening, and she loved it. So we contacted the owner. It was a for sale by owner. And I'm talking to the owner. We started to get the negotiations started. And he texted me this morning about 9:15. So as I was walking my dog, he had texted me. And ironically, her daughter saw me walking my dog, so she came out and started speaking. I said, tell your mother to come outside. So I'm just telling her what the text message said or whatever. Anyway, my dog is going nuts because all she wants in this life is for you to pet her.
Right.
Nothing else.
Right.
If you do that, she's great.
Right.
And she's yap. She's just yapping.
Yeah.
And out of nowhere, man, this old guy comes out and he goes, I thought I told you, and I quote, to shut the fuck up.
Oh, boy.
So I look behind me, left, right over my shoulder, like, who the fuck you talking to? and I did that. He was like, you. Oh, really? And I was like, man, go ahead with that bullshit. That's exactly what I said. Go ahead with that bullshit, man. It's too early. My shoulder's been bothering me. Haven't been sleeping great, So I'm already irritable. So then, this guy, man, I'm not lying, dude. I couldn't make this up if I wanted to. He had to be minimum 70 years old.
Wow.
Minimum.
And angry.
And runs up on me like he's going to do something. Scared me. Yo, I don't know if you got the corona, so I pushed him back.
Right.
Like, whoa, what the fuck? You know what I mean? And then he picks out his phone. That's what they do. Like, I pushed you. He picked up his phone and called the police. Fuck the police, man. I didn't do anything to you.
No.
My dog was yapping. It wasn't 10 o'clock in the evening. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. You live in an apartment complex. You're going to have to deal with some noise. Sorry. It's not a perfect word.
Right. Golly.
But the way that you could have came across is, hey, good morning.
Right.
At that point, I knew whatever you want.
Right.
We can work it out.
Right.
When you walk out the door and tell me, I told you to shut the fuck up. Listen, man, I don't do well with that.
Nah, man, as people are testy.
I don't do well with it.
People are testy. I've just withdrawn the last couple of weeks. I haven't watched much news.
Me neither.
Or anything like that.
That's why we're talking about nothing.
Yeah, I just got disillusioned with the whole thing. It's just so many things I see happen, and then the response that people give is like that's not the proper response, and it's like I don't know. I started feeling so disillusioned that we'd all just lost our way. So I just turned it off, man. I've been not watching hardly anything. We're still on the kick of I'll type in a band and type live, and we'll watch their show. Yeah, man, we're still doing that. And that there's every now and then there's guys that do shows from their homes. That's been fun. Yeah, man. There is. If you have ever seen anything that's called Tiny Desk Concert?
I have.
Have you seen DJ Premier? It's absolutely
no, I
filthy.
haven't, but someone was telling me about that recently.
Dude, it is absolutely filthy. He's got this whole band with him, and it's really, really good, man. You guys should check out some of the Tiny Desk concerts.
Yeah, I've heard about them, man. I hadn't.
They've got all kind of people. It's not just rap acts. It's country and bluegrass and rock and roll. Just whoever, But
right.
But man, it's quality. As we're packing up after this show, I'll play something for you.
Okay.
Because it's banging.
I will say, man, one thing is for certain that, in these uncertain times, the world is changing so much every day. And I honestly think a lot of good is coming out of it. Whereas, like what you're talking about, the tiny desk. We've got a lot of musicians doing live things. Movies are readily available. I mean, the world. We've had all of this here, and everything has just been driven down your throat to be like driven by like capitalism. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And them guys got women, men, children, professionals. They're all just kind of given.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty cool, man. There's some things that it's done that are undeniably positive. If you look at human beings staying in and using less, the environment in many places made a big comeback in a shorter period of time. Mother Nature will heal herself, and that I don't think if anybody tries to argue that was not a benefit of it, then you probably shouldn't argue with that person. I mean, anything we can do to make the planet healthier, I think is good. I'm not suggesting that we go on with that. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that was a positive. I mean, it's hard to find positives in a pandemic, but that's certainly one.
Yeah.
I mean,
really
so
is.
Maybe we added another 1,000 years onto the end of the thing by doing that or something. Who knows, man?
Who knows? I mean, I'd love to see another 1,000. I mean, I'm trying to get my income up to where I can at least be around 130, but we ain't there yet. We're sitting here at the Pinhead Studios. This is your boy Reggie Nobles. Left of me is my man Pinhead. We've got the Last Dance going on in front of us, man. And I know, Pinhead, you said you hadn't really been following it that close, but I have to tell you, my brother, dude, you got to get on this. The last episodes, 7 and 8, were remarkable.
I'm sure I'll watch it at some point, man.
I mean, it had to be the best thing that I've ever seen about Michael Jordan. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was awesome. God, it was awesome. So, they talk about the death of his father, and then they talk about how the media lashed out and how everybody tried to make it out to where, his gambling or whatever he was doing in his personal life might have had some implications on his father's death. And then he left to go to play baseball, and did the league suspend him? And there was just so much brought out that anyone who ever thought that Michael Jordan left basketball to play baseball because there was some type of league suspension is absolutely wrong. There's absolutely no evidence to support that.
Right.
Absolutely no evidence to support. And now again, I say that having watched a documentary driven by his perspective.
Right.
But I mean, it just makes it easier to believe. I mean,
sure.
You had guys like Bob Costas, Mike Wilbon, David Stern, and other well-known individuals in the game who debunked it very clearly. Jordan left. There was the shot that we actually just watched was Jordan in the Dream Team, and he had made a comment to one of the trainers or whatever, the team, that that he was thinking about ending up his career to go play baseball. He also said, again, now who's to say he did or he didn't, because his father's not living, but that last year, what was it, the 93, 94 season they won, he was so mentally and physically exhausted. This was a different style of basketball back then.
Oh, yeah, physical.
And, I mean, it was very physical, that he was on his way out anyway, and his dad was a huge baseball fan, and that was his guy.
Right.
So, for him to quit after his dad died to play baseball was him kind of servicing that purpose of, I want to do this for my pops.
Yeah, I get it.
And, hell, people look at Jordan's career as a baseball player and they say he sucked. He actually was pretty freaking good.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
considering.
Yeah. Right. He's such a competitor. I saw the other day, I read a thing, Coach K was on a podcast. I forget whose it was, but he said they were asking him about the best players in his time at Duke. So I guess the last 40 years, And he said that in his time, he felt like there were two players that were seminal to the development of the ACC and a boost to college basketball in general that stood out above all else. And he said Michael Jordan and Lenny Bias.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd be hard pressed to find people to argue that.
God, it's such a shame, dude, that we did not get to see Len Bias at the next level.
He was one of those guys, like we were talking about. Like when you saw him, you're just like, oh goodness, he was a Megatron or a Adrian Peterson kind of physical build. Just like, good Lord, look at this guy.
Bob Knight, after the first time watching Jordan play, said that's the best player I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So, like those guys, they carry so much weight. And what's really cool about this documentary is to hear other professionals talk about the greatness that he had. But in episodes 7 and 8, it really focused on how driven this dude was. It is crazy. There was this one little take with him and Scott Burrell. And they're talking about practicing. And Jordan believed that, you practice like how you play the game. And Scott Burrell is jawing at him, and he's jawing back at Scott Burrell. And he tells Scott, like, you better put better let Ron Harper guard me. And Scott Burrell goes, I'm going to guard you, and I'm going to shut you down. He said, well, shit, there's 290 jobs looking for you. Which, at that time there was only 30 teams,
Right.
We didn't have the expansion teams up in Toronto and before Memphis moved down, or before the Grizzlies moved down to, where were they at? Where were
the Grizzlies are Memphis.
Memphis, but they were in Canada first, right?
Yeah, Vancouver.
Vancouver, thank you. That's what I was trying to say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was
Vancouver. Why couldn't Vancouver keep a team?
I just don't think I think that the owner wanted a bigger facility and they voted it down. I think it was one of those things. Sports aren't, how Canada is. It's not America. Well,
you think they got the coronavirus up there?
Yeah.
Because according to some people, I'm not going to say any name, this thing is still not real.
Yeah.
It's not anything to worry about. That's why I'm trying to go to Vegas.
I hear you. I'm trying to let you go to Vegas.
I mean, listen.
And then I'm going to wait 2 weeks and I'm going to ask you how it is when you get back.
If I make it 2 weeks, you're out.
Yeah.
14 days, Vegas is good.
I mean,
Well, I mean, certain people say once, the climate change and things heat up, that the coronavirus will slow down. That's what certain people say.
This the thing about Vegas, like we've talked about, you sit at a blackjack table, you're not 6 feet from the furthest person away from you. No matter what's
No matter what.
And then there's a table right behind you. The back of another seat is right behind the back of your seat.
Regardless. At any given time, you got about 9 people in your fucking 6 foot circle. You got the pit boss right there. You got the dealer there. You got the guy behind you. Got to the left, got to the right. Yeah, there's a million dudes around you.
I'll tell you one really funny thing that's come of this to me is when we're watching our concerts online, sometimes it'll be like from a big festival, Woodstock or something. And as it comes, as they fly over and you see the crowd, you're like, oh my God. It's like they're not social distancing at all, Whereas before this, I'd have been right in the middle of them. And after this, hopefully I will be. But, I'm sure I will be. But, it's just funny how that's become a thing in my conscience that I react to. You're like, whoa, look at this, it's so close.
Sure.
I would have never thought about that before.
Yeah. Well, man, on to another subject, man. I want to hip you to this, man, because I'm truly excited about this, man. I haven't been this excited about anything in a very long time. As per usual, this weekend I did absolutely nothing. There was nowhere to go. Sitting around the house watching a bunch of TV, and a commercial came on that immediately grabbed my attention only because I had drank, I don't know, down to like the handle of my bottle. forhims.com is giving sildenafil out 1 month supply for free.
Well, I don't even know what that is.
That is the generic version of Viagra.
Ah.
Yeah. So you can go to the website and you go in, you put in your information, and then they connect you with a doctor. Right? This is another positive about the social distancing and the coronavirus. Like, so now, like, all of these doctors have been doing all these online visits. For Hims has snuck this in the back door, and it's freaking great. So you can go on their website, and they connect you with a doctor, and he does a little diagnose, and then he sends you some pills. He'll give you a 6-month, 30-day version, 30-day trial version for absolutely nothing.
Right.
And listen, I'm 41, guys. I'm not 20.
How many are in of 30? Or is it 30 pills? Or?
Well,
like,
so I've got 30. I got 30 pills.
Goodness.
Right. Well, so now they're 20 milligrams, and one dose can be anywhere from 20 to 100. So the recommended dosage that my doctor, I can't remember her name. It was a female. It started with a K. She was probably overseas. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Kathy. She prescribed me 60 milligrams per dose. So they basically gave me 10 sessions.
Okay. Yeah, so
right.
Eat 3.
Right. So, the week started out, man, on a blunder as it normally does, man. Mondays always suck. I'm like, damn. Just balls to the wall, man. And by Tuesday, like they came Monday. I did this like Friday or Saturday. I did this Saturday, and they were in my mailbox Monday. So I'm super excited. But Monday, I'm exhausted, man. I'm doing this renovation project, and I'm just tired, man. Tuesday comes around, and then I start scrolling through my phone like, well, who's going to be the winner? My Wednesday, I found the champion, and and so I wanted to put this to the test, because, again, at 41, I can't go out and have suds all night and then go home and be the young stallion I used to be. I'd much rather pass out.
Right.
I'm tired. I've worked all week. However, for Hims.com, for this lucky young lady, I sure didn't make her night.
It worked.
Like a charm.
Yeah.
I highly recommend this to anyone listen. And I don't know if there's any type of kickback program, but if they say, how did you hear about us? Just simply put in there, Nobles in the Pinhead. Right. And if they need my phone number, I'd be more than happy to accept, another 30-day supply.
Oh, yeah, I endorse just about anything, as long as it's not a hate group or something. I don't want to get drafted by the Patriots,
Right. The blue pill, she's fine with us. But seriously, go and grab your blue pill. They're white now.
I hear you, man. Well, that's good for folks to know, I'm sure.
Well, I mean, listen.
In these uncertain times.
I didn't think I would be doing you guys any justice when I didn't bring that to your attention, man. Again, forhims.com. What else we got tonight, man? You watched anything good on TV lately, man?
Well, I'm almost finished with Andy Griffith.
Oh, okay.
I started that, yeah. And the Ernest T. Bass ones are still my favorites. It's funny how he's such a well-known character. He was in 5 episodes ever. That's it, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he was in 5 episodes.
Wow.
But, just that. And we haven't been on a whole lot of stuff lately, man. Mostly watching bands and whatnot. That's been our thing. I can't think of any shows that we've seen lately. She's on one. She finished Ozark.
That shit was dope.
Mm-hmm. She's on something else now, but I can't remember what it was. I saw it. The show Black Mirror?
Yeah.
It was on there. I saw where they pushed back the debut of it because it's too much like 2020. Like, it's like, I guess they had like a pandemic episode and some other, and so they didn't want to. Now's not the time.
Yeah, a couple of my favorite shows a couple of my recent running favorite shows have been put on hiatus because of the pandemic. One being The Walking Dead, the other being Black Monday. So, yeah, it kind of sucks. But I've actually watched. I got a subscription to Hulu. And these uncertain times, I still have $6 and not a whole lot to do, right? So went ahead and got the subscription to Hulu, man. And I started watching this show that came on Fox 4 years ago. I don't know how we missed it. It was called Pitch. It's about a female baseball player. She's a pitcher who makes it to the majors. And it's actually pretty good. It stars some cute little chick, man. She's absolutely gorgeous. And our favorite cast member from Saved by the Bell, Zach Morris. Mark, whatever the heck his name is. Paul
Gosselaar. Yeah.
Gosselaar, yeah. He actually kills the role. He plays the catcher.
Huh.
And it was actually really good.
We watched a movie. I did think of one. We saw, it was called The Dirt. And it was it was basically the film version of a book written by Motley Crue.
Okay.
And so it was written by like all four of the guys, and it's kind of told that way. And so of course, you know, they're famous for being wild,
Sure.
you know, crazy dudes. But the thing that struck me, unlike any documentary I've ever seen, like, okay, we're going to do the Reggie Noble story. Who do you think should play Reggie Noble?
Oh man,
Just fairly quick.
Blair Underwood.
Okay, see, great. And it's usually like that. You know, it's usually like Brad Pitt or something, you know, whatever. In this, the guys that played the members of Motley Crue were actually uglier, considerably uglier than the guys that were in Motley Crue, which is odd, I think, for a documentary, or not a documentary, but a movie about somebody's life. You know, it's usually somebody like, who would you want to play you? I don't know, just some ugly schmuck.
Not that ugly dude.
Right.
You're not casted.
Yeah, like Matthew McConaughey or somebody, man. Yeah, I don't want to be.
Let me get Denzel up in this bitch.
Yeah, you got Larry from the damn School of the Arts. You know, that's no good.
Right.
But yeah, it was okay. It was pretty funny. It like you'd expect. It was women and drinking and drugging and, you know, and making just awful music. I never thought they were worth a damn. But even watching you know how sometimes you'll watch something about somebody. No, that's Def Leppard.
That's Def Leppard.
Yeah. What has 9 arms and sucks? Def Leppard. Right.
One dude only has.
Yeah, and people talked about him. They had a 1-armed drummer. He made a comeback. You know, they're like, oh, that's awesome, man. Look out, he's killer, man. Well, I don't know. There's 2 ways to look at that. You know, how about he was half-assing before? You know what else? Did you ever think of that?
No.
How about we take John Bonham from Led Zeppelin, hack one of his fucking arms off, and see if he can still play Moby Dick? I'm betting he can't, because he's giving his all.
Right.
You know, that's all he's got. If I can't imagine if this guy could do that, and now if somehow we were able to put a robotic other arm on him, he'd be the greatest drummer that's ever lived by 20 miles.
Of all time.
By 20 miles.
Of all time.
Yeah.
You know, speaking of robotic arms, man, I've got arthritis in my left shoulder, and I've got a appointment with the specialist in 13 days now, or whatever. Yeah, 13 days on the 26th, and that's what I'm going for. Let's just go on iRobot me.
Yeah, cyborg.
Yeah, let's do it.
Cyborg it up, man.
Dude, can you imagine the amount of force I could generate while slapping somebody with a robotic arm?
Right.
Look, half the shit that I go through wouldn't be fucking ended because I just
Right. Did you ever meet the guy, Jason, that comes in the tavern sometimes that only had 1 arm?
Yeah.
Well, for a time, he had he went, I forget where it was the Duke or Chapel Hill or somewhere, and they had fitted him with one that looked like a human hand and arm. Mm-hmm. And it was a robot, but it had like a skin around it and all that, and he controlled it with his mind. Right? And so he had just gotten it, and he came to the tavern. I was like, well, let's shake hands. He's like, okay. And he weren't good at using his mind to control his... Yes. I thought it was going to break every bone in my hand. And the look on his face didn't help me any. Because he's like, oh, God, he's like freaking out. You know, and I'm thinking like, oh, man, this...
As he's freaking out, it's getting tighter.
Yeah. I'm like, nah, dude, be happy. You know, son, whatever you're doing, think some other stuff. And eventually it backed off, you know, and it didn't hurt me in any... But give it a little bit more and it would have hurt. Yeah, right. I was like, but it was a scary time for me there. Yeah, one scary moment I had.
Yeah, so it would be my left. That would be my one I threw out there sometimes. Like, yeah, you know. There's a couple guys that I wouldn't mind squeezing their hand to a freaking pulp, you know. But be that as it may, I don't know. We'll have to see what the doc says, man. I'm excited, man. I got a shot in my arm February of last year. And it has lasted up until now. And it's been pretty painful, man, the last few nights, man. I hadn't slept worth, much.
Yeah, it can be rough, man. I get, I don't know if we talked about it on the show, but I've got psoriasis, you know, and it's generally on joints, you know, and a lot of people get this psoriatic arthritis that comes with it. Mm-hmm. And I've been able to pretty much avoid that, but there has been some, and it's in my right elbow, my dart throwing elbow, you know, it's like, that sucks, and it's a painful thing. So I imagine if it's causing you that much pain and discomfort, that it's pretty terrible.
Yeah, it's not been great, man. I've taken, and the problem is, you know, I can control it with ibuprofen, but you can only take that with so much.
Well, it's bad for your stomach.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
You know, so like today I took, because I was going to be painting the fence. So I took 1,200 milligrams, and it's actually okay. But probably tonight around 1 o'clock, I'll wake up and just excruciating pain. Mm-hmm. And it's been keeping me up. But thank God, Netflix is they're just pushing them out right now.
Yeah.
God. So, we were talking about Quentin Tarantino maybe, I don't know, 8-9 episodes ago, man, and I've been on that kick. Mm-hmm. So I watched The Hateful Eight, great. Django, always great. Kill Bill. I've been watching those. What was the other Inglorious Bastards? Mm-hmm. Peeped that one out. So I've been kind of on that little kick right now, man.
Yeah, we ordered on DVD the True Romance.
Okay.
Because that's my favorite.
Yeah, and I want to watch that Hollywood Once Upon a Time.
Oh yeah, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Yeah, that was pretty darn good too. I did get on this one show that was about how the media affects things and whatnot, and it was looking back at famous cases. Like the one episode I saw was the Bernhard Goetz, the subway shooter in New York, and then there's another one really interesting. Is like brought up questions was it was Jenny Jones. Do you remember her? That had a talk show.
Yeah,
blonde-haired lady.
Yeah,
and I saw her ratings were falling behind Jerry Springer, so she decided to make her show a little more sensational and do this, that, and the other. And a story about when she had the guy come on because somebody had a crush on him, and then it's a guy, and 4 days later he goes and shoots and kills that guy. And the ensuing trial was just crazy. She had to take the stand. They grilled her, and it does bring up questions of that. It's certainly not morally right to do that to somebody.
No,
but in my mind, it almost should be illegal too. You know what I mean? Because I don't know that guy's reaction was all that bad. He put on a funny face and a smile for the show, but then after the show, the guy who told him he was interested in him, like sent letters to him and left stuff at his door and stuff. He continued to push it after this guy he said on TV, "I'm completely heterosexual." And so this dude continued to push it, and the guy goes over there and shoots him. So I just thought it was sort of thought provoking for me. It's like, well, yeah, maybe they are a little bit more culpable than all that. I mean, you really shouldn't be able to do that, spring that on people in such a public forum.
The worst thing imaginable in my mind is to be on Maury, and some chick is telling me that I'm the kid's father. And I mean, literally, first off, I don't know how you get me there.
No, right?
I don't know if there's enough money. Like my mom, my grandma is still there. She don't do shit. My grandpa don't do shit. They watch TV all day. I'm not coming on, Maury.
No,
tell that bitch it ain't mine.
No, right, yeah.
I said so, and then she want to do it the right way. Meet me in Forsyth County court system. Like that's how I've done with one of my two. So a little more familiar with that, but you're not getting me on, Maury. Like how? I don't know what they do to incentivize those cats. I mean, I can't think of any amount of money.
But Reg, people are stupid, man.
Well, no
people
doubt.
are damn just stupid.
No doubt.
I mean, that's it. I'm going to be on TV. You going to fly me out to Chicago?
Right.
I'm going to be on TV?
Right.
I'm in. You know?
Right.
It just is, I'm disillusioned with the intelligence level.
Well, that's the thing, man. We give people too much credit.
Absolutely. I was thinking the other day, I feel like I'm above average intelligence, and I was thinking that, all my friends, the people that I tend to surround myself with, I like to think of as above average intelligence. And one thing that this pandemic has done, and us all staying at home, is for me to realize that my friends and I are well above average. I mean, way up there, man. None of us are geniuses, but we're not. I mean, some people are just damn stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, wow, I don't know. That whole thing blows my mind, man.
It blows my mind, too, man. I mean, I don't know. People, I have a hard time, man. I was in Home Depot. Again, we're renovating this property, and I went there at 4:45, and their pro desk, if you're doing like any type of like massive construction project, would you be best served to get a pro account because you get discounts, yada yada yada. Right, so that's what we set up, whatever. And you go to the little pro desk, or whatever. They're supposed to be there to 5:30 every day. Well, I get there 4:45. I walk in, and we had bought all this insulation. We're insulating the house, and the young girl at the register, she turns and looks at me, and I said, "Hey, how you doing?" She goes, "The pro desk is closed." Well, that doesn't answer my first question.
Right.
Oh,
I hate that, man.
Dude.
I don't accept that when I'm working at the tavern. Like, people come up, and I've had to take people to task. Like, I'm like, how you doing, man? A Bud Light. I'm like, no, how you doing? Bud Light. No. Now, how are you doing? Oh, man, yeah, man, I'm fine. But I'm not going to give you the Bud Light until you answer that question, man.
It's a simple pleasantry. I had to. So, anyway, man, I go in there, and I had a return. It was a bunch of crap. Well, anyway, dude, they gave me the runaround. I was there for 2 hours. And during that time, I had a gift certificate that they had issued me store credit on earlier on a return that from pulling it out, putting it in my pocket, pulling it out, putting it in my pocket, from here to there, that I dropped somewhere in the store. Couldn't find it. Young lady told me, well, there's nothing we can do. But the good news is nobody else can use it. So if nobody else can use it, only because it was tied to my ID, why can't you just reissue it? Why can't you just cancel that card and reissue it to me? Nah, that ain't even a possibility.
Yeah.
Huh?
Nah.
So I had to call corporate, dude.
That's it. You just got to talk to somebody else.
And then I called corporate, and I was dropping dimes. I told on all of them. Look, there was this light-skinned chick with like red hair, told on her ass. There was this older black lady. She was mean as hell. All I said to her was, "Hey," We're fucking Americans, man. And I think you said this maybe 2 or 3 episodes ago. We wonder why the rest of the world hates us.
Yeah. It's because we put the statue of David on the way to the Cinnabon.
Right.
Yeah.
Dude, during these uncertain times when a lot of people are out of work and those people that have work treat it as though it's a problem, it makes you want to just slap the shit out of them.
Yeah, man. We've sapped a lot of kindness out of people, it seems. It doesn't seem that's viewed as a necessity any longer, and that sucks.
Yeah,
that sucks. The world's way better off, man. I'm much happier. I think most folks are, but yeesh, man, I don't know. It's strange, man.
Yeah.
You guys stay nice to each other.
Yeah, I'm so tired of freaking people, man. I took a U-turn today at a green light like you're supposed to, and the light turns green. I got my signal, and the dude behind me is laying on his horn. But my light's green to go left. You can make U-turn, but you've got people making that right in that lane. Mm-hmm. So I can't clearly just run it, right? I hit someone. So as I make the turn, I just give him like a peace sign, and he stops in the middle of the intersection, rolls down his window, and I can only imagine what he said. Right. But I'm sure the N-word was dropped.
God, people, man.
And I'm like, man, what did I do to you? And what's really funny is, I don't even know if I believe this anymore. That like if we were face to face, you wouldn't say that to me. But based off the last 2 old motherfuckers that ran up on me, I'm sure that he would have too. So, Anyway, man.
Probably would have.
Well, buddy, what else we got here, man?
I don't have much of nothing, man. How long we been jabbering?
Listen, we just hit the hour mark.
No, that was good.
That was pretty good.
Solid. I think we talked about some good stuff.
Well, not a lot, but we talked anyway, What about baseball, man? You heard about all this crap?
Not really.
So baseball is they're meeting right now on whether or not they're going to play, and if they play, that they're talking about money.
Right.
And one side,
I did hear some of that.
One side is going to come out looking like a douche.
Yeah, I saw a picture from Tampa Bay. He won the Cy Young in 2018, and he went on some show and was talking about how he's not going to pay for anything less than 100% of his salary because it's so dangerous, And he's going to get raked through the coals for that, man. You can't talk about money in a time like this. I mean, if indeed it's so dangerous, if you believe that, then I'm not going to play for any amount of money. Well, but not okay. But now if you pay me $12 million, it ain't that dangerous anymore. Now, you're going to get vilified. What a dumb statement. What a dumb thing to say.
That is the thing that amazes me the most.
Dumb, man. That's dumb.
These cats have staffed members to protect them from public relations, like, you know what I mean, like, and at no point nobody not like, yo, if you were my client and you started to say some shit like that, I'd slap the microphone out your hand. Boom,
I'd have just some Flex Seal, just track over the mouth. Yeah, that'd be it. I couldn't believe he was saying that. Like, man, they're gonna make you look terrible for saying that. You just come off as greedy.
Yeah. Well, I think baseball has that, though. I think baseball has an opportunity right now to really turn their numbers around if they can come to an agreement.
Yeah.
However, if they don't, they can almost dead the sport.
Yeah, I saw where today where they're talking about as early as this season when it starts up that they could do away with they could add the DH to the National League. So, which, whatever. I prefer the National League. I grew up when players, you played in the field and you hit. But, I was watching Kornheiser today, and he summed it up pretty much the way I feel about it, too. It's just like, I think having it the same in both leagues, I think is better than me getting my way on that.
Yeah.
Just either way. I mean, and, the guys that are going to really love it are your aging power hitters because they can stay in the game longer and still get big paychecks, So, that's kind of interesting. And also about sports reopening and with no fans, they're talking about should they have artificial fan noise or not.
No.
I think that they absolutely should.
Do you think they should?
Absolutely. It's a TV show. They're producing...
So kind of like the laugh track.
Yeah, they're producing a TV show. Yeah, and somebody was like, well... I don't know, man. That'd be hard. Who's going to control the sound noise and all this and make it right when the play happens? And I can do that.
Well, there's a new way, right?
I mean, whatever. I think you got damn kids that are 12 years old who grew up playing video games that can have it just money. As soon as the guy breaks open, he hits the I mean, I don't think that's hard. You got kids that can push 40,000 buttons in a minute.
Right?
Yeah.
It's on a delay, so...
Yeah, but I mean, it's basically a TV show anyway. They were even talking about computer-generating fans in the stand. If they did that and added crowd noise, I don't know how it wouldn't be much different, I don't think.
No.
Your two best sports...
when you watch a game, do you care how many people are there?
No.
It's kind of just a second thought thing. So you look and be like, man, the stadium's packed. Oh, man, there's nobody there.
Right, who cares?
But if the game is good... the game is good.
Right, but if it were silent, it would be odd.
It would be very odd.
And plus, you'd hear a whole bunch of cussing.
Oh,
so much.
Basketball
would be terrible.
Worst.
It would be terrible.
Oh, it'd be great.
Yeah,
but it'd be the worst.
Yeah, you couldn't put it on TV.
No. Oh no, you couldn't. There'd be more bleeps than like any show we watch.
Did you see the Rams' new uniforms?
No.
Everybody's up in arms about them. Yeah, they're pretty daggone rinky-dink, man. I don't dislike the helmet necessarily. Helmet I thought looked okay, but yeah, they're pretty rinky-dink. You remember when Duke and Carolina played last year, and they had those Walmart uniforms?
Yeah.
This looked bad. Are you checking them out?
Nah, go ahead. There was another team that changed their uniforms that went to the Patriots.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, the Patriots, they went to the, what do they call it, the Color Rush. That's going to be their new uniform.
The Rams have a color called bone.
Called bone?
Yes, they had to get special permission from the NFL to use this color, bone.
Really?
And because it's like a road color. It's an off-white. They say, it looks white to me. So, like... I don't know. How are you going to wear that on the road against another team's whites?
So those are the new Patriots unis. That's what they wore like on Thursday Night Football. But right. I don't understand why a franchise that has had so much success.
Why would you want to change?
Right. Only thing that I can think of is, jersey sales, franchising sales. I mean, like, I like that. I like that a lot. Hey, dude, I'm a fan. I'm a fan, dude. I like it. I like it.
Eric Dickerson came out today and talked about how much he hated it, how he just thinks it looks soft.
Eric Dickerson
he said
is a hater.
He thinks it looks soft,
I like it.
Right on.
Dude, check that out, man. Y'all check out the bone uniform that the Rams are going to be rocking, If the Panthers keep fucking up, though, they might turn me into a damn Rams fan. They better damn tighten up over there, man. We're not making a whole lot of sense, in my opinion, man. I don't understand the draft. No team has ever taken all defensive players.
Mm-hmm.
Ever.
Right, and you're talking about You're talking about the greatest show on turf, teams that had offenses that didn't need no help.
Right.
Think about all the great offenses. They never did that, right?
And never.
Yeah.
And so that's what we did.
Right.
Oh?
Right. The Dan Fouts Chargers never did that. Yeah.
I mean,
teams that could drop 60 on you.
I'm a big advocate for number one. But let's talk about Kyle Allen, your boy. He got hit more than any quarterback last season. He only played 12 games.
Yeah, that Kyle Allen. Yeah, there could be a dumpster fire this year. It could be.
The goal here is to protect the quarterback. Cam was not given a fair run. Kyle was not given a fair run. No, Teddy Bridgewater, if you're listening, brother, wear a double cup. You gonna get fucked up, bro.
Yeah,
we're not gonna protect you. Facts. And you a little fragile motherfucker anyway.
I mean, he's been hurt before.
He's fragile. And then we cut Cam and brought in another fragile motherfucker.
Yeah.
And paid him exactly what we're going to pay the guy that we had who wanted to be there.
Yeah.
Because he played in Joe Brady's system for 1 year. That dude was a fucking assistant. Yeah. I got to goddamn I got to get my fantasy resume up, man. This shit ain't working for me, man. I need to get up, man. I got to get on a fucking NFL payroll plan, man. Like, this ain't working for me. I think I can be just as bad as some of these other some bitches and have one good year, right? Somebody's hotel.
Yeah, really, man. It's them.
Because all you need to do is get one great contract, one good opportunity. Fuck it up.
And it really, you can tell it's plain in a lot of ways. Look at the Ravens. Ozzie Newsome's done their draft forever.
Right.
They're always relevant.
Right.
They're pretty much always relevant. Always. They either, if they're bad seasons, they narrowly miss the playoffs. Mm-hmm. And it's one dude who knows how to do his damn job.
Right.
He should be, you would think he would be a sought-after commodity. You would think that the Dallas Cowboys, if Jerry Jones had any sense in the world, he's got all the money, that's who you want.
Right.
That's who you want. And just hire him and get the hell out of his way. But that's not what he does.
Panthers have hired an assistant. We're the only team in the league that has an assistant general manager. Because our general manager, Marty Herney, who was great on the radio, not great running the team. We saw it the first time. That's why he got fired. He was great on the radio. We hired him an assistant because he was really good at scouting college talent. But you know what he was not good at? Scouting NFL talent. So we're going to get someone to scout NFL talent, and Marty, you scout college talent. Let's just get one guy for this.
Yeah, it's not a two-person job.
Apparently it is.
Yeah, that seems like a one-person job, man.
Well, for 31 other teams it is.
Right.
But not the Carolina. The Carolina football Panthers, man, the longer we go without sports, the more sour I get. Because, that's all I have to focus on. I get tweets, man. And every now and then I look at my phone, I'm like, God almighty, you guys are idiots, man.
Yeah, well, who knows, man, with the new owner and whatnot, if he's hopefully a little more willing to spend money and whatnot. So, and that seems to be...
He's definitely willing to open up the bank book. I mean, the checkbook. But at the end of the day, I have been high on the Panthers going into every season, and it's never worked out. The year that I was like, oh, man, we're done, 2015, Kelvin Benjamin got hurt. Right. I'll never forget, I was coming down from Gastonia. And I heard on the radio that KB had got hurt in a non-contact injury, and I immediately said, we're done, the season's over, we're fucked. I called my buddy C. Woods. I'm like, did you hear? Absolutely, man, it's over. 15-1, all the way to the Super Bowl, where the NFL gave the championship to Peyton Manning. So that was one of the years I wasn't high on us. But
I remember that too, and I felt the same way. I thought, man, their passing game is going to be completely anemic.
I was done. And well, that was about the only year I ain't really flied high since we had number one.
I tell you, man, it's wild when something like that happens too. Because you think that you're a knowledgeable fan.
Right.
You know, I remember as a Duke fan, that happened to us. We had a team that had one consistent outside shooter. And on a game back right before Christmas, on a flight back from some game that we lost, Coach K kicked him off a team. It was Rashad Suleiman.
I remember that.
And I was like, man.
Where did he end up going, Maryland?
Yes. And I was like, man, we're who's going to hit a shot? That's the only guy we got that can hit a shot. We won a national title.
Yeah.
We won the damn national title. He changed up how we played totally, and we won a national title. It's like, well, I couldn't have been more wrong.
So with that said, fuck the Panthers management right now. Y'all keep doing what you're doing. Prove me right. Prove me wrong. I don't know.
Absolutely, man.
I mean,
it might be a banner year.
What really sucks though, Pinhead, man, I tell you, is I finally was able to live out one of my bucket list items, man, which is to go see the Panthers play at another stadium and to get a group of people to come with me, right? We went down to Atlanta last year. This year we were supposed to be going down to Nolans. I don't know if it's going to happen. Listen.
Yeah.
I know that the people that went last year want to go, but I don't know if it's going to happen.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough time of just weighing safety with the need to get out and do. You know,
I mean, and I say this in jest, but with a little bit of sincerity. I think America could stand to lose about 17% of the population and be okay. It might mega. You know, it might make America great again if we lost 17% of the population. We've got some bad ones, man.
We let the people that want to open up, like, have at it.
I mean, you know.
I don't know, man. There's so much misinformation. This is just a strange, odd time. We're just drowning in information and starving, thirsting to death for knowledge. Things are strange time.
So I heard that the president of Tanzania. Did you hear about this?
No, I didn't.
Did
he try to send you $93 million?
No. Now I have not researched this whatsoever, but we're an hour and 15 minutes in the show. So hey, this is where shit like this comes up. But I heard that he tested a goat, a grapefruit, and like a piece of fabric. And all three of them came up positive for the coronavirus.
Okay. I don't know what to make of that.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know what to make of that.
Again, I hadn't done any research, but
a grapefruit.
Yeah,
I've heard them say over and over that it's not in food. That I've heard
right.
that.
I've heard that too.
But
then didn't you tell me about a drug?
I saw a drug today, and it's whatever. I don't even know what it was for, but I know that it says that while you're on this drug, to avoid grapefruits. But it didn't say it was going to give you coronavirus. It just said it reacted with the drug.
That's what it is.
It might be.
That's what it is.
See, we should just start slinging the daggone conspiracy theories around.
I mean, might as well.
I think we got like murder hornets that are delivering 5G to coronavirus patients that are.
I think Verizon's on it too.
Right. We got these murder hornets delivering 5G to COVID patients that are in a border town that's who knows, man. I just good God.
Good God, dude.
Good God.
Dude, I tell you, man, it's been really odd, man. It's been really odd. I've noticed though, man, and we're gonna sign off here in about 3.5 minutes, boys and girls. I've noticed though, man, my cell phone reception has been horrible since the COVID started.
Yeah, I mean, I've certainly noticed that too, but I've chalked mine up to that my phone is really old, so I need a new phone.
I've got the iPhone 11 Pro
hasty.
Max, you know. I mean, you know, I got, I don't know.
No, you got a much nicer
360 gigabytes.
Yeah, no, you've got a much nicer phone than me, man.
And the damn thing don't run worth for the crap now. I mean, I'm losing service in Kernersville, the place that I live. Not like Yanceyville. You know, I'm not up in like Lincolnton. I'm in Kernersville. And I'm dropping calls. And, you know, I was thinking, man, maybe what happened was a dude was working on the tower and they hit him with the non-essential text. And immediately he just stopped and was like, fuck it, I'm out.
Right, that might have been.
You know, because like from what I understand, that if you're getting unemployment right now, it's actually better than working. First off, you get paid every week, right? You get whatever you're getting for unemployment. Then if you're getting that PAU, the pandemic, PUA, whatever, the pandemic unemployment assistance, that's up to $600. A lot of cats, my sister was telling me, she just got called back into work last week. She was distraught. I remember when she called me and told me that they was about to lay her off. She was like really distraught. But then when they called her back, she was hurt because she was making almost $900 a week watching Netflix and chilling.
Right. Well, you know? Yeah.
So
I get it, man. It is going to be tough when we all go back, but that's, you know, I'm ready for it when we can. I think everybody wants things back open.
I want to go to the tab.
Yeah, man. I want to throw beers at you at the tab. I just, you know, I want to do it the right way, and I'm no scientist, so I don't know.
Yeah, well, you know, I just, you know, I don't know, man. I was watching Ozark a couple weeks ago, and it was like one of the first episodes, and my man was at the strip club, and he was trying to. Did you watch any of Ozark?
A little bit.
So he was when Marty was trying to buy the strip club to, like, you know, wash money and whatever. Mm-hmm. And like the scene was kind of like, you know, hot and heavy. And like his agenda was not totally what was going on in my mind, because I'm sitting here thinking, I want to go to the titty bar. And I really don't.
Right.
Like, I never do. Not anymore. Man, my oldest daughter is 21. The titty bar disgusts me. However, the fact that I can't makes me want to go.
Yeah, that thought came in my mind the other day. Like, you know who I bet's doing good during this is cam girls. You know, I bet they are doing really well.
Killing it.
You know?
I might go home and check on that tonight.
What a tough job that is. You know, I couldn't possibly knock anybody for doing that. I mean,
dude, I mean,
but yeah, I bet they're doing really well.
If you're a young female and don't consider it, I mean, like, because from my understanding, I've done some research about cam videos. Hey, real serious, in all seriousness, man, I was wanting to do some production here and like just get some women together and like, hey, you know, rent out some things. Because but you can block out like areas that you don't want to be seen in. So like if you don't want to be seen in the United States, you don't have to be. If you don't want to be seen in North Carolina, you don't have to be. Like you can block out people who can view you on the cam. And I mean, I'm thinking,
dude, how many videos have you seen that says "Do not share this video"? It is you can't.
No, wait, now I'm not saying that somebody can't copy it and then repost it.
Right.
I'm just saying, like, you're not gonna catch me live and you ain't be able to talk to me.
You ever seen any of those videos that start like that?
Never.
Okay, yeah, there's some I thought you hadn't. There's some that start, you know, and it's like just whatever you're watching, maybe violent content or whatever, and it just don't steal this video, you know, and it's encoded and we can track you.
That don't happen. But nonetheless, man, these girls seem to make a pretty good living. I mean, so my point being is, maybe Novas and Pinhead should come live. We should do a video.
I
Yeah.
don't know, man. I've got the face made for radio.
I mean, nah, dude, you look good, baby. Yeah, maybe we can find. Look, right now would be the best time to find, talent, background talent. They're all out of work. They're non-fucking essential. They're all 1099. They ain't got nothing going on.
Well, look, we've given away like $6 million ideas since we've started this podcast. Yeah, when are we going to just shut our mouths and do one of them,
Reggie Nobles and the Pinhead Cash App is ready for freaking investments, baby.
Let's go, man. I saw where $1.2 million buys the Bel Air Drive-In in Walkertown.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
How much?
1.2.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I bet you they'll take
concession stand probably had to be rebuilt though. It's been.
I bet you can talk them down about half.
Probably. I mean, it's been sitting there forever.
Well, right. It ain't like they got people lined up.
And now they should. That would be a great thing to have right now. Great. You'd be sold out.
Corona friendly,
dude.
That's how you advertise.
Yes.
Corona friendly.
Sanitary. It'd be the sanitary drive-in. That's what I call it.
Right. Dude, you can do fucking. Oh my God, you can kill it.
You could have a little stage out in front of it. You could do concerts there certain times. You could do all kind of stuff if people just stay in their cars.
Yeah. Shit, you can do like DoorDash. You don't even have to open up concessions. You can do DoorDash and then charge a percentage to DoorDash back to your business to just come on your lot.
Right.
Like DoorDash normally takes like 20% or whatever. So if you order something, they'll throw like 20% on top, and then you tip, you throw an extra 10% on top. And you don't have to have any inventory.
Right. Well, that is a good idea.
DoorDash it right to you, baby. We'll take 10% off top.
Yeah, we're giving away the ideas.
Yeah, man. Listen, we on one tonight, man. Well, man, we've been at this thing for a minute, man. It's about 10:10.
I enjoyed it.
I had a good time tonight, as always, man.
It's always fun.
Well, man, let's try to get up next week, man. Hopefully, man, I won't have to work hard next week, but man, it is what it is, man. I'm working hard these days, Pinhead. They got me out here doing manual labor, man, trying to save some money so I can make some money, man,
I hear you.
Well,
I hear you, man.
All right, man. So, Pinhead, before we get out of here, you got anything you want to...
I just want to say, we'd be amiss if we didn't say goodbye and rest in peace to the first punk rocker, the gender barrier breaker, first rock and roller, Little Richard, man. Little Richard was, you talking about a guy, if Little Richard had not, think about this, folks, if he had not recorded a song, he was still responsible for launching the career of Chuck Berry and Jimi Hendrix. Think about that. Think about if that's all you ever did in your life. Mm-hmm. That's a Mount Rushmore mess. But then you add Tutti Frutti and all that onto it, man. Lord, what a guy. What an unbelievable star. Now, we lost a giant in the world of music and just American culture. That guy was... You always knew if it was Little Richard, it was going to be hot. He was going to bring it, man, and lay it down.
Absolutely.
Cool dude, and the music will live on forever.
Absolutely, man. And man, I don't even know where to go from that, man. We've lost a lot of people during these uncertain times, man. Don Shula, rest in peace.
Yeah.
Well done, Pinhead. Well, man, listen, I don't have anything else for you guys, man. I appreciate you guys checking us out. You know where to find us. Anywhere you can find podcasts.
Everywhere.
We're going to drop this thing on Facebook, Twitter, and IG as well. For my buddy, my friend, my pal, the Pinhead. This is your boy, Reggie Noble, saying, stay 6 feet away, bitches. Be safe.
Cheers.